All right. This is my ideas. My journey into my current position started around 2008. I don't know if it was because of Obama or because of the subprime crisis. What I do remember of Obama when he was running against George Bush Jr. is he was saying how all the things that people were finding deplorable, the war, the warrantless wiretappings, the black sites, the extrajudicial extraditions. He was running all on that. And everyone was buying. Everyone was really happy and thought hope and change. The thing is, while I admit I didn't read the entire law, Obama, before he ran for president, he voted yes for the Patriot Act, the very Patriot Act that the Republicans were criticized for. Due to all the unconstitutional things it does. The other thing is that you may have noticed it in this 2016 election, but I remember the subprime crisis. Those on the right will say there was too much regulation to make that happen. Those on the left say there wasn't enough. If you do your research, and I will do what I can to get that, you would find out that both the Democrats and Republicans were in the pockets of various corporations like Goldman Sachs. And what they did over time is they repealed all these laws that were instated after the Great Depression to prevent another disaster like it. But due to the influence peddling, due to the corporations buying up both left and right, what happened is that it doesn't matter if you have no regulation, it doesn't matter if you have regulation. If you got people who are politicians in office who are in the pockets of the very person or persons or organizations that the regulations are supposed to regulate, they're not going to get enforced. So my lesson I took wasn't because there was not enough regulation, as the leftists to assume, and not because there was too much regulation, but it was not being enforced. So why was it not being enforced? Well, I was talking to someone online. They were really, really talking against how the Republicans were doing all this. Really against all the bailouts and stuff like that. And yet, I told them that, but yet, when it was the Democrats doing all this stuff, it was okay. You might have noticed in the 2016 election, with the GOP, you got Donald Trump. You got a entertaining buffoon who knows how to warm up a crowd to get where he needs to go. He's exploiting the situation for his own gain, all the problems for his own gain. And if you look up his past, the man's a con artist. The man's a crook. He isn't going to undo the surveillance state. No. He's going to use that surveillance state to his own advantage. And then you got Hillary Clinton, who has been in politics for a long time, who, if you know what you're looking for, is a sociopath, is a person that gets ahead by preying on other people. And she has no idea what she's doing either, because what she has done one scandal after another concerning emails, and that's not the only thing she's having scandals about. And those emails risk people's lives. There are actual people whose lives are at risk in the military because she screwed up. And now she's going to run for office. Now she is one of our candidates. And just like Donald Trump, she bought and sold too. Now you got both camps. You got the Democrats saying, hey, our candidate's great. Best candidate ever. They don't care about the corruption on our side, but they're more than willing to point the corruption out on the GOP side. And on the GOP side, you got people say Trump telling it like it is. Trump is self-funded. At least he's not crooked Hillary. He's just as bad. Or if not worse. But the people on the right, the Republicans, are ignoring that corruption and pointing it out, the corruption on Hillary's side, the Democrats. Of course, both sides ignore the accusations of the other and just say, hey, you know, that's just Democrat propaganda. That's just Republican propaganda. So you got two parties that are as crooked as can be, and neither of them are cleaning up their own houses. So, of course, we're going to have two of the worst candidates. So, getting back to the guy I talked about, why does this happen? Why do we, and talking about the guy I was online with, talking to, he was a guy for the poor, and he was regulate the rich. Yet he turned around and started supporting all these bailouts and all these oversights concerning these corporations as good things. To me, the idea that someone who literally gambled on Wall Street, which is like going to, in the manner of going to a casino, gambling, wrecking a lot of economies, and then coming back and saying, hey, can we have the taxpayers' money, which is basically your money and my money, is wrong. And everyone else who wasn't rich and connected got thrown on the street. So my question is, why do people look the other way when their leaders are not adhering to their principles? Why do people look the other way when their own tribe decides to, tribal leaders are out to abuse them? That's the question I asked myself, and then it led to some interesting corners and turns and twists, which I'll cover in my next video.